Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, lo-fi musician and producer, Blue Sirens. And today, I can't wait to tell you, but the Orchid by Telepathic Instruments and Tame Impala is almost here. If you're watching this video on December 18th, it's dropping to buy. Now there's only going to be 1,000 of these, and they're going to go fast. So if you want to get one, you got to go to their Patreon, which I'll put a link in the description below. Go to their Patreon. You're going to sign up for free to be a part of The Garden. Now, The Garden is a group on the Patreon account where you're going to be able to get feedback on the device itself and what features you might want in the future. And there are some really great features of this device already. They did a demo video showcasing some of these features already. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can check it out. But I want to talk through some of these features and what I like and what I don't really like about it. First thing I like, it seems pretty easy to use. Buttons, knobs, they're all pretty intuitive, and you can easily change your chords. You can add multiples of the chords. You can see what scale you're in. You can activate the arpeggiator and effects and change the voicing. Like, the controls are pretty simple. It might think or feel at times in the video that it feels a little complex. It does feel a little complex when you're overdubbing, but if you're just trying to find a sound, it sounds pretty good, and it looks really easy to do so. So I think they've got the UI pretty much in the bag. The two things that I think are going to be a problem for this is going to be the sounds and using it with a DAW, because they don't showcase it using it with a DAW in any way. It's just a standalone instrument. It's still fine, it's still great, has some really cool sounds. In the initial release, they did show that there is going to be compatibility to use a DAW with it, but they didn't really dive too deep into that. But before we dive into what I think is going to be wrong with it, make sure you join their Patreon, because they're dropping a code at 5 p.m. Pacific time, so you can go to their website with that code, you can log in, and you'll be able to buy it. They're only going to have 1,000, it's going to go fast. So pause this video, go join their Patreon, make sure you can get your code so you can get one of the thousands. And here's the thing, free shipping on everything over $600. The controller's already $549. Buy a t-shirt while you're there. Buy something so you get that free shipping. I really think it's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna get a t-shirt. T-shirt's a real simple t-shirt, no biggie. You know, they're trying to make money, and I'll wear it if I get the Orchid, and I'll do a video for it. So go get the code, go sign up so you can get the code later. Let's dive back into what I think is going to be not the best idea with this controller. And like I said, using it with a DAW and sounds. I want to talk first about the sounds. So if you watch the video in the description below, you're going to kind of hear what the sounds are like. And all the sounds sound exactly like Tame Impala, which is not a bad thing because it's made by Tame Impala. It should sound like them. So not a bad thing at all for that, but I think it's a bad thing for maybe Tame Impala, or maybe for everyone else that's trying to make music, because if everyone sounds like Tame Impala, then no one's gonna make unique music. And they did mention there are gonna be some software updates they're gonna come out with. Some new sounds are on the way already, and they're working on finding ways to push those out and get them in. So sound updates I think has been great. I think there's a really good opportunity to where they can get other musicians that have unique or similar styles to this instrument and be able to sell those packs or have those updates or whatever to make it a continuous money machine essentially. And a couple artists I wish they would work with after Tame Impala has kind of said, hey, we've got our packs, we got our money, let's get some other people in here. First one is going to be Kavinsky. The video has some arpeggiated stuff in it, and as soon as they hit one of the arpeggiated voices, I instantly thought, this is a Kavinsky song in the making. If Kavinsky picks this up, or someone that can just write very close to Kavinsky, they're going to make some banger synthwave music. If you've never heard of Kavinsky, but you've seen the movie Drive, a lot of his music is in that movie, so you've probably heard it. So Kavinsky, home run. If you make that kind of music, if you make synthwave, this is going to be an easy instrument for you to get tons of ideas from and be able to write super easily with. The next artist that I thought of that would be great, but I think it's kind of impossible, is Daft Punk. As I was listening to some of the voices in this video, I picked out a couple tones and I kind of thought, oh, that's unique. And I thought at the same time, everyone's gonna sound like Tame Impala. But then I realized, these tones are unique, they sound really cool, and they sound like something that Daft Punk has kind of done with in the past. And just because a lot of these sounds sound like Tame Impala doesn't mean there's not a ton of sampling possibilities, because you could write something with this, sample it, distort it, add a couple of different effects, whatever, to get that sample kind of filter or grain on it and turn it into something that sounds a lot like Daft Punk. So that you could just do with the stock sounds already, but if they were able to get some sort of like Daft Punk or Daft Punk inspired presets or sounds into this instrument, I think that would be amazing. That would be an instant put more money into this. I'd put $200 into that maybe if I could get some really cool Daft Punk sounds. And I don't even write electronic music like that. I used to, but I'm more focused on lo-fi now. But really, like, man, that would be cool. And if Lo-Fi Girl took advantage of this, that would also be like, shut up and take my money kind of stuff. But at the same time, this is just in testing. This is a beta. They're going to see how things go. And they haven't promised that they're going to have sounds featured from other artists coming into this device. That's just something I think that would be great if Tame Impala is like, hey, we've got all of our sounds out into this that we want to. Let's bring some other people into it. So that's a pretty big wish list. Now, the next thing I think that they could do, or I wish they would show, because I think it's going to be a problem, is just how does it work with a DAW? If you just plug it in and it works, that's great, but a lot of the features from this and make it so easy to form these chords, that's what I really want. I want to see that if I don't use this as a standalone instrument, I can just plug it in and it works with the features I really want to use it with. Hopefully that's something that we'll see in a video coming up between when the buy time happens and pre-orders are delivered, which right now it looks like they'll all be delivered if you live in the United States around February. So hopefully they'll put more videos out through it. Engage in the garden. That's what they're calling their Patreon page. So you can get this feedback. You can tell them what you want, what you're seeing out of it. I really like everything I'm seeing on it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I've got so many alarms set, like 4:55, 4:56, 4:57, to be like, I'm here and I'm doing it. I've got tons of reminders. I've cleared my schedule. I am dedicated to getting my hands on the Orchid by Telepathic Instruments and Tame Impala. So I hope I can get my hands on it. I hope if you're watching this video, I hope you can get your hands on it. But what do you think about my concerns about this controller? Do you think they're well-founded? The video, I think, has highlighted a lot of great things. The video that I put in the description below of Telepathic Instruments showing off the instrument, I think they've done a lot of great stuff with it. Just those two things of, how's it work with my DAW? And are you going to put other sounds that don't sound like Tame Impala into this? Those are my only two concerns. But what do you guys think? What are your concerns with this? Do you think this controller is going to be worth $549? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, and I hope I can find out once I get my hands on this. Until then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.